All right, welcome back to math class today. We are working on perimeter, and just for everyone to remember, we are all going to write this on our whiteboard. So friends at home, you should have your whiteboard. If not, pause the video and go grab it. Everyone with me, write perimeter. We're going to do something with it. Remember, it's spelled perimeter. Perimeter. Now here's a helpful tip. Do you guys know what the rim of a glass would be? I'm going to draw a glass real quick. What would be the rim of my glass, Madeline?
The part that you put the mouth on?
Yeah, this part around the top, right? That's the rim. So the rim is what goes around the outside edge? Is that what you're saying to me? The rim is the outside edge? How is that like perimeter? Hayden?
It has rim in it, so...
Right, that's why we're looking at this. If you look in the middle of perimeter, it says rim. Okay, the rim of a glass is the outside wraparound edge. So when you think about perimeter, if you can remember the rim of a glass is going all the way around the outside, right? So that might help you remember it. Tomorrow we'll also start talking about area. And I know you did a little bit of area last year, but area is the space inside the shape, not the space around. Josiah?
I just lost my cap.
Uh-oh. Oh, it's right underneath Hudson's seat. If you look under his backpack and coat. All right, so this is just a helpful tip. When you see the word perimeter, it should remind you that's the rim, the outside edge, okay? So you can go ahead and erase that. I just wanted to make sure you saw that helpful tip. And now we're going to warm up with an easy problem. All right. So when I draw a shape, I do want you to draw it. You can make them small and simple. Remember, is the length the long side or the short side? Emma?
The long.
Length is the long side, okay? So I'm going to label this just so you can see it. Long side is length. Short side is width. So I will leave this up here while we're working so you can talk about the correct sides, okay? All right, so the rectangle you need to draw has a length of 6 and a width of 3. All right. Now I know yesterday you guys were flying through your practice. You were doing a really great job. What do I know this number has to be on this side over here? Angie?
6.
6, because we know these sides are the same length. All right, what about this side, the left?
3, because it has to be matching.
Right, and my shape's very sloppy, but normally, it's a rectangle. All right, now perimeter, what do I have to do to find perimeter? Cadence? Add up all the sides. So, I gave a couple tips yesterday. Sometimes it helps to just write all the numbers down. Then you can combine 2 at a time, and then add.
Oh, I got...
Okay, I like that better. I don't like adding numbers in a long tower, because you have to keep track of so much in your head. It can get messy. So you can do it like this if you want. So 18 would be the perimeter. Looks good. All right, any questions on that problem? Liam?
It's not really good on this problem, but before the lesson, I did 254 and 264.
Wow, that was a tough one. All right, go ahead and erase your boards. We're going to warm up with 2 more.
It's not hard.
All right, keep our voices off. But I'm glad to hear it's not hard. All right, the next one. Okay, so this time, instead of drawing it on the shape, I'm going to give you the length and the width like this. Okay, you might have a problem like that. This time, the length of our rectangle is 12. The width of our rectangle is 9. And we'll give it a label. We're going to say feet. And I want to know what is the perimeter.
Like the total?
Yep, so the perimeter, remember, perimeter means the rim, right, all the way around. So some people can do fine just looking at that. Some people need a picture. If you need to draw a picture, it's really the fastest thing. Draw a box. Length means long. Label my long sides. Width is the short side. Okay? And now I can see I need to add 2 12s and 2 9s. So on your boards, you should already be working. Go ahead and solve the problem. I'm going to work up here. You can check my work when you're done. I'm seeing lots of excellent answers here in class. Madeline?
Oh wait, never mind. I already
Okay, good. If you got 42 feet, you've done it correctly. If you didn't get 42 feet, take a look. You probably just made a silly mistake with your addition. That's usually what it is.
I almost did and made it 21.
Noah?
That's the problem that Liam said, and it's 1,036.
Oh, okay. All right, one more warm up. All right, this time, we're going to do something a little different. All right. We have a square this time.
I know this trick.
Okay. What is the perimeter of that shape? Before you ask questions about only being one side, think it through. Does anyone have a tip for their classmates as to why we only have one side labeled? Liam, why is there only one side labeled?
Because the other sides are the exact same thing.
Because it's a square, right?
Sides are all
Yeah, a square has same sides, so I can put 5s all the way around. So I'm really just doing 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, or what else could we do? Madeline?
5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay, you could skip count, which is basically what? Noah?
5 times 4.
5 times 4. So if we did 5 times 4, you get 20. All right? So when you are doing math, if they give you a square and only label one side, like on your practice yesterday, that's what you need to do, okay? All right, now we're going to try something a little bit harder. So I need everyone's head in the game, okay? Markers in your hands. And this is a bit new. All right, let me get this erased. All right. First problem. Please write down what I write. Get your shape drawn. We've got kind of a long rectangle. The length is 9. All right, copy down all this information. I'm going to erase this at this point so we're not having too much on the board. So copy all of that down.
Is that supposed to be 27?
Perimeter equals 26. The length of the rectangle is 9. We do not know the width. So, we're going to keep our voices off, raise our hands to talk. We need to figure out something. What do you think we need to figure out in this problem? Emma?
The width?
We need to know the width, okay? Does everyone understand, first of all, why we need to know the width? Josiah?
So we know how to solve the problem.
Right. The width is the W we don't know. Normally, so far, the perimeter has been what we don't know. So it's kind of doing the problem backwards, okay? So you guys know all of this. It's just rethinking it differently. Noah?
I'm gonna use my hands to
All right, well, hold on. We got to walk through it. So my first step, okay? I need to know, is this side the same as the bottom? Emma?
Yes.
Yes. So let's pop a 9 up there. So everyone label a 9. So now we know 2 sides. We don't know the other 2. Okay? Right now, if you're just trying to write an answer on your board, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in you copying exactly what I'm writing. Okay? Are you writing it with me? Okay? Everyone should have this written down. At home, same thing. I'm hoping you're doing better than we are today in class. All right. So this is also a W, right? All right. So, if the perimeter all the way around is 26, do we already know 2 of our lengths?
Yes.
So here's the first step to this problem. We're going to add up our 9s and see how much of the perimeter they make up first. So everyone on your board, 9 plus 9 is 18. Any questions so far as to what I just did? If you've got them, you got to ask them or I can't help you. Aiden?
18 plus something equals 26.
All right, hold on. Are there any questions on how we did this step? Zoe? Okay. So the perimeter all the way around my shape, if I start here and go all the way around, like we're building a fence, you know, I already know these two lengths are 9, okay? So we need to figure out what these widths have to be. So if all the way around is 26, we can already know that 9 and 9 have been used. So all I did was add up the numbers that were labeled on the picture, okay? So out of the 26, let's call it feet. It's hard to talk about it without a label. Out of the 26 feet all the way around, we've already used 18 feet just on the lengths, okay? So if my perimeter is 26 and I've already used up 18, how do I find out what's left? Abby?
You subtract 26 and 18.
Exactly, okay? So we're going to call this step number 1. Okay, your first step, you figure out how much total number is already around your shape. Step number 2, we have to subtract what we have on the picture from the total perimeter. So my perimeter is 26 feet. I subtract 18 from it. Make sure you check my math. So I have 8 as my answer. Okay, now before we move on to the next problem, there is one more step to this. I want everyone to think really hard about what that 8 actually means. Everyone think about it really hard. Liam, what are you thinking?
Whatever is half of 8. That's what both.
Okay, you are right. Can someone else add on to what he said, explain it a bit more? Noah?
Basically, what it is, it's the two numbers are together now that you subtract.
The two widths are together now?
Yeah, so you have to divide that by 2 to get your answer.
You guys are right, okay? So if you didn't catch that, listen up. Everyone very carefully. This is the lesson today. Once you've done step 2, we know the rest of my shape, this side and this side combined, has to be 8. That's the only way that if I add up all my sides, I get to 26. So your last step, step number 3, you are going to divide this number that you end up with into 2 because we have 2 widths. We don't have 1, we have 2. So 8 divided by 2 sides would be 4. Now I like to check this when I'm done because we did a lot of steps. So if my width is 4 on both sides, can I easily add up all my sides and make sure I'm at 26? Let's try it, okay? So 2 groups of 9, I know is 18. And 2 groups of 4 we know is 8. So if I add 18 plus 8, I did get 26. Okay? So this is about as hard as perimeter gets. We're going to do several of these. By the end of this, you guys will know it. Okay? It really is 1, 2, 3 steps. Okay? So keep thinking of the steps we're doing as we go, and you'll get it. Liam?
I did it differently.
Well, for now, can you tell me later? Because I don't. Some people are just starting to get it, and I don't want them to get confused.
I
Okay?
added 2.
Aiden, I just said we're going to wait a minute. Josiah?
I'm gonna do this for homework.
We do have some practice, so we'll see if it ends up being homework or not. All right, erase your board. We're going to do one more of these right now together. All right, markers in hand. All right, here's our last warm-up problem, class. Make sure you copy this down. If you need a moment, you can go ahead and pause. All right. So our perimeter is 18, all the way around the shape. If I started here and went all the way around like a fence, it takes 18. And let's say feet again. I like using feet. So the width is 3 feet. We don't know the length. All right, the first step I would do before you do the 1, 2, 3, I would go ahead and copy your numbers. So I know the sides are the same length. This is still an unknown L. All right, who can remember the first step? Emma?
Add up the widths.
Yep, we need to add up the numbers on our shape that we do know. So we've got a 3 and a 3. So number 1, I'm just adding them up. So 6 feet is taken out of the perimeter just from the width. So I know whatever's left will be my lengths, okay? What's my second step? Who can remember? Josiah?
Do 18 by 6.
Yep, we have to take our total perimeter and subtract out the total from the widths. So we have 18 for our perimeter minus the 6 we found for our first step. And I've got 12. Okay, thumbs up if you agree. Thumbs down if I'm wrong. Everyone in the back's keeping up with me? Thank you in the back. All right, we have one more step, okay? So we know after I took out the widths, these two sides together are 12 feet. Do I need to separate them though? I can't leave it at 12. I need to know what one length is. How do I split this 12 up to show what one length is? Hayden?
You can multiply something. No, you divide
We divide by what?
by
How many sides are we splitting the number into?
3.
Noah?
You divide it by 2
Okay, we do divide it by 2. Noah, why do I have to divide this 12 by 2?
because we have 2 sides.
Okay, so we know this combined is 12, but we want each side. So if I split it in half, I'll have 6 on this side, 6 on this side. So step 3, you divide the answer from step 2. You always divide it by 2 because we're trying to get it onto 2 sides. And the answer is 6. Now for now, until we get to be experts at this, you may as well check your work. So I have 2 3s, and we know our length is 2 6s. So you can add and check. 3 and 3, 6 and 6. I like to do half this math in my head, or write it to the side, add it together. If I get 18, that matches the perimeter they gave me. We've done it correctly. All right, any questions on that problem? Remember, if you don't ask questions, I can't answer them. All right, so I want to see thumbs real quick. Down thumb means I have no idea. Sideways thumb is I'm getting it, but I need more practice. Up thumb means I'm kind of getting this.
I'm kind of getting it.
All right, my down thumbs, you need to be listening, okay? A lot of the down thumbs have not been writing with me. All right, we're doing one more, and then we do have to stop and go to special. This time, I hope to see everyone writing with me, so erase your boards right now. I'm going to write the whole problem, copy it down.
Is tech coming to us or?
No.
All right, here is our last problem. All right, we've got kind of a shape like that. It's not a square. Our length is 8, or width is 8. Length is unknown. We don't know our length. But our perimeter, we do know. Okay, so we have 3 steps. If it helps you on these problems, just write step 1, step 2, and step 3. But really, we have a step before we start all those steps. What do I want you to do with your picture until we're experts? Hayden?
Add the other 8.
Yep, I want all your sides labeled. So the 8 matches this side, the L matches this side. So first step, okay, really think it through. What was the first step we continue to do on all of these problems? One person knows. There's some more. Angie, what's our first step?
Add the 2 8s.
Add the 2 8s. Excellent. So 8 plus 8 we know is 16. So I know that out of my total all the way around 28, 16 of them are used up on these width sides. Now what's our second step? Abby?
Subtract 28 from 16.
Exactly. Well, switch it around, but yes. Subtract 16 from 28. All right, go ahead, write it. Write it down. I want you writing it on your boards. Sometimes learning happens really, really good when you're writing and thinking and talking about it, okay? That's why I have you write a lot. Once you've got number 2 done, try number 3 on your own. I'm going to give you a head start. You need to try it by yourself to see how you're getting it. Once you're all the way finished, you can look up here and check with me. I'm going to wait about 10 more seconds to finish. So if you're done, go ahead and do step number 3. Looking pretty good from what I've seen. Remember, the last step, we always have to divide that by 2 because we have 2 lengths. And if you want to check it, I know I've got 2 6s, which is 12, and 2 8s, which is 16. If I add those up, I get 28. I did it right. All right, does anyone have any questions on this one? Okay, so hopefully tomorrow we'll see more thumbs up, but tomorrow we'll warm up with this, and then we're gonna start working on basic area problems, which not very hard actually. Cadence?
I thought squares were supposed to have all the same sides.
Well, that's a rectangle. I just didn't draw it very accurately. It's a rectangle. Emma?
This is kind of easier.
Yeah, I love geometry. Some people really like it. Shh, boys. So, if you're not getting it quite yet, we'll do more practice. Practice makes perfect, right? But remember the 3 steps. Add the sides you know, subtract it from the perimeter, divide it by 2. Works every time, okay? All right, thank you friends at home. We will see you soon.